Henry Jennings from Marcus Today joins me now. Henry, thank you so much for waiting for us. So,
my pleasure, Danielle. Did you say that without breathing at once during that whole spiel on Liontown?
that's probably just older
Felt
age,
like it.
gasping.
Felt like it.
Gasping
Anyway.
for air in the studio. Hey,
Well, there you go.
what's Gina up to? I mean, we don't know, but one can only suspect there is more at hand here than just currently trying to stymie the bid, or maybe she just is being antagonistic, as Adam Dawes said.
Well, let's face it, she has stymied the bid. She has killed it. We had Albemarle withdraw this morning. They are no longer in the game. So the question now is where Liontown go from here. They're in a trading hold at the moment, pending a funding package, finalising a funding package. They have been talking to a number of banks and lenders in terms of the Kathleen Valley project and how to fund that. They do have a shortfall there. And a lot of people, I would imagine, have been looking at the books recently to discern whether they should be putting more money into that. There is also potentially not only a debt package, but also an equity package as well, which is going to complicate matters. There's going to be some sort of capital raise. Now, Gina has 19.9% of Liontown, so she's killed the bid. Mission accomplished, well done, as we thought she might. The guys at Albemarle talk about complications and complexities. Well, those are the complexities. The problem, I guess, for Hancock and Gina is that with 19.9%, if they go over that, they have to bid. Now, they have paid around $3, let's say, for their Liontown stake. Now, they can top up when they get diluted in an equity raise, but if they go over 19.9%, they will have to put a bid across the bows of Liontown. So, to be honest, I think it's all a bit of a schmozzle here. And the share price, depending on what price they do the raising at and what the comments are, I suspect is set to fall quite substantially, bearing in mind that it was $1.50 before this bid arrived on the scene. And we have been telling people to sell their Liontown around $3. There are around 212 million shares shorted in Liontown at the moment, 9.6% of the stock. That is a pretty big position. There's a lot of people that are going to be pretty happy if this one falls away. Now, I don't think it's going to fall back anywhere near towards the $1.50 level, but it does depend on what price and what debt they are raising to get Kathleen Valley off the ground, or continue to get it off the ground, or rather underground, because it is an underground lithium mine. It is huge. There's no doubt about it, but certainly Albemarle walking away is a negative for the stock, leaving Gina, I guess, holding the baby to some extent, and this is where she wanted to be, but yeah, we'll see how it all pans out, but I would expect some share price falls to come.
It'll be interesting to see with all those people in, corporate institutions and M&A departments, whether they're scuttling around trying to find other options to put in Albemarle's direction. I mean, it's clearly very acquisitive, and it may have got its paws severely burnt by this, like they won't be happy, I imagine. But if there were any candidates, is there anything that springs to mind that they might have a pop at, particularly if share prices continue to weaken off the back of lower lithium prices?
Not that spring to mind. I guess, one of the great attractions of Liontown was the fact that it was in WA, the fact that it was very, very big. We're talking world-class asset here, and that it was progressing quite well. So that was a big attraction. I did have some comments suggesting that maybe they look at Pilbara, but I think Pilbara would be a big chunk. It may be that they look at some sort of merger deal with someone bigger, perhaps than Liontown. We've already seen the Alchem Livent merger, that one progressing. So there is certainly deals to be done in the M&A space, in the lithium space, especially if the price of lithium itself comes under pressure, because that does always show that the strong guys survive and the weak guys get taken over or go to the wall. So I think there's probably more to come and to play out in this one, but for the moment, I think Albemarle will probably be licking its wounds and reassessing not where they went wrong, because they didn't actually do anything wrong, but certainly the complexities, if you like, of Gina getting involved have really scuttled this bid.
Absolutely. Now turning to Genesis Minerals and their bid to buy Dacian Gold, or Dacian, I probably got that incorrectly.
That's all right. That's better than refining.
Henry, move on. Answer the question.
What was the question?
Oh, what do you think about the deal?
What do I think about the deal? Well, it's been a long time coming, to be honest. The boys at Genesis, led by Raleigh Finlayson, have been a majority shareholder of Dacian for some time. They failed to clean up the whole thing. This will put it out of its misery. The idea is to take out the minority shareholders and clean it up once and for all. There was some opposition to the original bid. This price is pretty generous. This has been lurking in the background for a long time, but it is quite a generous price, and it does sort of ratchet up as well if they get over a certain level. So I think it's sort of 23 cents is the first sort of share conversion in terms of what it means for Dacian. But this is designed to get this out the way, over the line, and Dacian well and truly under the control of Genesis Minerals.
Okay, Henry. So anything, one last quick question. I mean, markets are looking uncertain, a bit weak. When we last spoke last week, thought small caps still a bit too early to get in there. Anything at the moment catching your eye?
Well, I don't mind Genesis, but obviously this move from them does sort of muddy the waters a little bit. I have been quite bullish on De Grey, and obviously that is another gold miner. Gold looks relatively good, although it hasn't really burst massively upwards, even though we've got Aussie gold at sort of $3,070 or something. So that's near an all-time high. But I think, at the moment, volumes are still light. Uncertainty remains big time. In fact, it's probably got worse since we spoke last time. The oil price has perked up as well. There are some concerns. Jamie Dimon was talking on the weekend about the most dangerous decade he'd seen for a long time. So there clearly are some risks out there. And the problem is for markets, when you've got 4.5% in terms of bond rates, risk-free, it is highly competitive with the risk rate in markets. So, US reporting season will be interesting, to say the least. And we need to see whether the AI giants can turn the promise into dollars. But there's certainly, at the moment, there's no rush really to buy our market. We're sort of bounced off that $6,900 level. But there's certainly no rush. And this week, I guess, it's going to be very interesting given what's happening in the Middle East. That could all turn very quickly into custard.